Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. In this video, I am going to make some of these cute pop bottle flowers. We're going to be using up some of our scrap pieces. I got everything I need, so let's get down to it. First thing you want to make is you want to go to my video to learn how to make these covered pop bottle or beer bottle caps. And or you can do brads or you can do little circles too. Your imagination is the limit. So, but I'm going to use these the beer bottle. Man, words are hard today. Beer bottle tops, pop bottle tops. Some scrap paper cut at 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and 4 inches square. And I do these ones because that gives me a nice big flower, and that's about as small as my fingers can cut. So anything smaller than that, and my hands have a rough time. So I've got some scrap paper. This is my stamp paper that I use to stamp things with, and it's getting kind of full. So let's make some flowers out of it. And then this is a misprint that I just printed on the other side. This will be digital coming out hopefully this month. And then this is from Crafty by Tony. Her free, I think it was her birthday freebie was this one. So we're going to cut these down into the sizes that we need. The most difficult part of all of this is the folding, because the folding gets a little complicated. So we're going to put all the same sizes together. I'm going to show you on the big one how we do this. So fold it in half. And it doesn't have to be exact, but having it close is important. And then in half again. And I'm going to grab my scissors here so we can make these sharp. And then you're going to fold corner to corner. And then corner to corner again. Okay. And then what you do is you cut straight up. And you flip it over and you cut straight up. And then you make it a curve. This is 32-pound paper, so it's really difficult. And then on the side where you have all your corners meet, you want to kind of snip down a little further. And get that fold. And then you unfold them like this. And I use a little scissors for this, that way it doesn't get unwieldy. And then you snip them all down to the middle. And then you unfold here. So we got this one snipped down, this one snipped down, but this one needs to be snipped down just a little bit more. And we snip in the middle. And then this one will need to be snipped down the middle. And you don't want to go, you want to go about, I don't know, what's that, 1/4 of an inch from the center. And they should all be snipped except for this one and this one. Now, if you want to go around and snip them all individually, you can do that. This is just an easier way to do it. And then what I do is I take and I find my corner, take a little bit of ink, and I give myself something to aim for. And then I punch the center out. And it's center-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm using the big hole punch because we're going to be putting a brad through it. So the next one, let's get one of these. This is going to be a little bit easier because this is 20-pound paper. If you don't like the way it rounded, you can go back and snip it, or you can take a sanding disc, a piece of sandpaper, and just knock off some of those corners. Okay. Now here's where if you want to ink these, you can do that right now. Okay, and then let's say you have a hard time cutting those. Let's do another alternative way to do these. So you still fold it in half, and you still fold it in half. And one more time. But now we're going to kind of cut it like a heart. So we're going to go up and around and down. Okay, and then this side we're going to this side we're going to go up and around. So you got those. And then when you open it, you're going to have like a little flattage sometimes here. So just take your scissors and just kind of snip it off. Okay. And again, we're going to have to snip these. So go down. And this one should be okay, but we're going to make that one a little bit longer. We're going to ink the middle so we know where to be. And again, middle here, we're going to snip it. And then you're going to open it. And you snip the middle here. So that gives you still a flower shape. It's just a little like not as round, but I'm okay with that. So let me do two more, the 3.5 and 3 like this one. And then we'll assemble them. All right, last step is just assembling them. And you can add an extra step and take some matte medium or collage medium or Mod Podge and put a coat of that on there to make them a little bit more sturdy. And then what I usually do is I hang them on a straw, like, I don't know how else to put this. So you take a piece of straw and you put a piece of parchment behind it, like a little square, and then you put a pin in there to hold it there. And you don't have it this long, obviously, but, and then you just let them dry overnight. but these are quick and easy otherwise. So we're just going to do the quick and easy version. And they look really cute. So I usually take and do a circle around the circle. So, you know, ring around the posy. Okay. And then take the middle one and put it down and kind of line it up where you want it. And then take and do an outer circle of glue, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And take your other one. Oh, I should have done that side. I like this side though. These papers, the one that I'm using right now, are part of the Amazon Masterboard freebie that's on my Ko-Fi site. So if you like this paper, go check it out. They're free. So it's kind of fun. Then we're going to do one here, just so they stay together. And you're alternating your petals a little bit so they don't all line up. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a minute while we do this other one. So when they're set up, when the glue is set up, you just take them and curl them up. Now, if you notice that you've glued a little bit too far, that's okay. You just roll with it. Just roll with it. Separate the petals, move them hither and thither. Start in different spots, fold them up, fold them back. Do them 2x5, you know, just do whatever works for you. Now, if you want them to curl a little bit, you can very gently, and see, I said gently, and I tore it off. Where'd it go? We can just take that, stick it back in there. There we go. That's a cool thing about paper flowers. You can glue them back together. You don't want to do this while the glue's wet, but you can take your fingernail or chopstick, and just curl the edges. You can do them forwards, you can do them backwards. But you don't want to do it while the glue's wet because things like that happen. So there. That's how they start off, and that's how they end up. Here is a simple but cute addition to your journal. You can change the centers to not be the bottle tops. If you want a more flat center, surely change them out. If you make something that I inspired you to make, let me know down in the comments or tag me on Instagram and let me see what you've created, because I love you guys and I hope you have someone that you can say, I love you too, you know?